Are we about to see a significant supply shock for the XRP ledger? This topic is being ignored by everyone. This is going to be a contentious issue. In addition to this, we are going to talk about the number of firms, banks, central banks, and other institutional investors that will establish XRP treasuries or other types of crypto treasuries. What is the actual amount of money that we are discussing here, and what sort of an effect will it have on the price of XRP? We will also discuss some details on the countdown to ISO 2022, which will take place on July 14th, according to FedWire. This movie has all of the information that you ought to know. Right now, there is a great deal of false information that is being spread around the Twitter community. In light of this, I would want to provide you with all of the information that pertains to this matter, including what is truly going to take place, what has already taken place, and how cryptography is being utilized and not utilized at the present time in the ISO format. When it comes to putting together some things for you, this is the most enjoyable experience I have had in a long time, so let's go with this. Take a look at this, shall we? If you are not following Status, I wanted to bring to your attention the fact that Status has been publishing material connected to XRP for a number of years, someone who is really nice to know and who is also a really wonderful person to follow on this platform. STEDAS. If you are interested in following someone who publishes material that is extremely factual and of high quality, this is an excellent location to follow. So here is some information on the most recent organizations who have shown their want to spend significant sums of money into XRP. Whether it be purchasing XRP directly for a treasury or beginning to utilize XRP for payments or stable currency, these firms have shown their interest in utilizing XRP in some capacity, have declared their interest in carrying out this endeavor through public pronouncements. I've seen certain things on the internet that suggest Trident B might not have the financial resources to carry out this endeavor. As a result, I will proceed with my investigation and provide you with updates as soon as I get them. However, it is important to bear in mind that when you look at these statistics, it is not always the case that all of this money is going to be deposited immediately. There is a possibility that some of these may be renewed for a period of 5 or 10 years, while others are simply going to be terminated. I would ask that you please keep in mind that as we progress through this, things in the crypto world are always shifting, and you will need to adapt to these shifts. As a result, I instructed you to scan this document because I wanted to scan the status document. I am interested in discussing the company's decision to establish XRP Treasury. According to your estimation, how much XRP is now available on exchanges for individuals to purchase on the open market? Additionally, if $5 billion, $10 billion, $20 billion, and $50 billion were to be invested in treasuries that are associated with XRP, how much XRP would be left on the open market? Exactly, because if you simply accept this at face value, we are very close to reaching the values of 500,000, 300,000, and 100,000. $1 billion in only the first 8 firms that have come up and made a statement about their intentions. I believe that it is quite short-sighted to believe that we will not be able to reach 5 billion, 10 billion, 20 billion, or even 50 billion people in the next 5 to 10 years. This is because the big scheme of things is looking out over the next 5 to 10 years. Please see below a selection of the information. $986 million is the amount at question here. Right from the bat, we are getting quite close to our goal. Additionally, it states that the total amount of XRP tokens is 100 billion, which is the current supply for the XRP ledger. According to estimates, there are roughly 54 to 56 billion in circulation here. Now that it is currently in circulation, I have been discussing this topic with a few other individuals. There are some questions that people have been asking me. An enormous shout out goes out to you, Michael Branch guy. You are one of the best researchers. What he is doing is reaching out to me and having a conversation with me about the actual value of XRP on exchanges, mainly due to the fact that when you are discussing this entire supply, this includes all of the XRP that you and I possess, as well as all of these other individuals that are holding XRP for an extended period of time. Can anyone confirm if it is 54 or 56 billion? It is estimated that exchanges normally keep between 10 and 30% of the total quantity of circulating cryptocurrency. This indicates that there are only between 5 to 15 billion XRP left on exchanges, which is a rather little amount when taking into consideration what we are discussing right now. Exactly. XRP is being purchased off the open market by these firms in a proactive and aggressive environment. So let's get right down to business and get this done. This would acquire around, treasury investment, anticipated XRP purchase, and 10 billion XRP that is still available for exchange if investments totaling $5 billion were to come through. At 10 billion, this would be a huge reduction at that point. $20 billion would be the minimum amount that would be put into XRP severe shortage, and $50 billion would be the amount that would be exchange depleted. In conclusion, that is some fascinating stuff to be aware of. Moreover, it presented a variety of distinct circumstances here. Reading through the situations is not going to take up an excessive amount of my time. Take a break from watching the video if you feel the need to do so. Please take the time to read this. This is where you'll find the best of everything. That was the area that I was most interested in entering. I also asked if you have any recommendations for prices in the event that any of the aforementioned things occur, including shortages, the value that is flowing into the price of XRP, and the market cap multipliers. With market cap multipliers of 212, 297, and $5 billion, this resulted in the development of strategies with market capitalizations of $5 billion, $10 billion, $20 billion, and $50 billion. The influx of XRP. Therefore, keep in mind that all of these are only theoretical figures. The magnitude of the market cap multiplier is unknown to us at this time. In light of this, I won't be spending an excessive amount of time going over everything and explaining it to you. It is likely that you are familiar with the topic at hand if you have seen any of the prior videos on market cap multipliers. In the event that you are completely clueless about what I am discussing in this context, you should definitely go view some of that stuff. However, the most important aspect of this is the amount of money that is being deposited into the XRP ledger and XRP itself on a regular basis, the amount of change that will be brought into the market cap as a result of that move. A good illustration of this would be the fact that $40 million were brought in to purchase new XRP and inflows, and that $40 million had an effect on the market valuation. I have a feeling that it was somewhere between $20 and $19 billion, and I demonstrated several examples of that in the video. Therefore, it provided me with a great deal of information on ranges and other such topics. I just want you to be aware that everything that has been said here is just theoretical. Following that, I was interested in gaining a deeper understanding of, how many businesses could possibly exist in the world, right? How many financial institutions, including banks, central banks, and credit unions, have the potential to initiate the establishment of their very own cryptocurrency treasuries? And I didn't want to look at every company because, of course, there are going to be some smaller businesses, some mom-and-pop businesses, like my firm Krypton Airs, which doesn't produce millions of dollars every year. I didn't want to look at every single company. We are, however, making an effort to maintain our relevance in the cryptocurrency sector by delivering knowledge to our community and assisting them in expanding their presence in the cryptocurrency world. However, I was only interested in looking at businesses or banks that had more than $500 million. I see. Here are the most recent global data for financial institutions such as banks, central banks, credit unions, and businesses with more than 500 million customers. Additionally, as of the year 2024, it appears that there are around 10,153 commercial banks all across the world. At the moment, there are around 222 central banks operating across the world. It includes regions and credit unions that are specifically recognized as well as those that are not recognized. Regarding this is only a compilation of data from the 82,000 credit unions located all over the world in the year 2022. The Forbes Global 2000 and Forbes Global 500 lists thousands of public firms that all have market capitalizations that are greater than $500 million. This is followed by companies that have a market capitalization of at least $500 million. Therefore, there are hundreds of other companies that are listed on major stock markets all over the world. In the year 2025, there are 1,200 private enterprises and unicorns, which indicates that each of these companies is valued more than $1 billion or $1 billion. There are a notable increase in the number of private enterprises that have between $500 million and $1 billion. The following is a list of some of the numbers: commercial banks, central banks, credit unions, and then there are several thousand organizations that have more than 500 million. In light of this, I felt it necessary to proceed forward. In the event that 5 or 10% of these banks or organizations made the decision to invest in XRP treasury, is that correct? Mostly due to the fact that, it is most likely going to be, but it is not going to be all of them, right? It's not going to cost you half. I can't help but think that a significant number of these businesses and financial institutions will be interested in entering the cryptocurrency market. We just do not know whether or not they are going to invest in XRP.